The highlight of the NVIDIA keynote for me was when CEO Jensen Huang quipped that if you bought an RTX 4090, that was probably the best investment you could make.
I didn't. I have a 1660 Super. I'm streaming with a 1660 right now.
I mean, just consider all the entertainment happiness that it could give you. But one small thing.
Is it all good?
When NVIDIA launched the RTX 4090, your stock price was about $11.50. So if someone had bought that instead of a 4090 as their investment,
Stonks.
Well, hey, good news, because they should be able to comfortably afford a 5090.
You could have turned $1,600 into $20,000 by investing in NVIDIA instead of buying a new graphics card.
For the privilege of experiencing their latest and greatest. But affordability aside,
Oh, Linus is the best. If you need to know anything, go to Linus.
Beautiful real-time rendered demo that I had ever seen, and then followed it up with a slew of new RTX Blackwell 50 series GPUs with brand new technologies like DLSS 4.0, DLSS Transformer, Neural Faces, and
still testing out how to allow to make everything, so
taken at face value,
feedback is good.
Actually be kind of exciting. Jensen claimed on stage that the 5070 will offer 4090 levels of performance at $549. Then immediately followed that up with a
my upgrade is like a 3060. Make the video louder. I got you.
So I was all like, sick, woo! And then I was all like,
I wouldn't want to see it.
Do it this way.
Well, no sooner did I say that than some burly guys in green showed up and said, all right, you cynical tech tipping son of a bitch, we're gonna show it to you right now. But you gotta do the thing. The thing, I said? Yeah, the thing. All right, the thing. The segue to our sponsor. Wicked Cushions. Give your headset a new lease on life with Wicked Cushions replacement ear pads. They offer impeccable comfort and more than a dozen awesome looks. Get your own Wicked Cushions using our link in the video description today. We'll get to some of the AI and data center stuff from the keynote, but first, I want to talk GeForce. And right now, we are behind the scenes getting the first ever hands-on with the RTX 5090. Well, we aren't yet. Now we are. They didn't tell me I could touch it, but they can't stop me. They're way over there. Before we go deeper, there are a couple of things that stood out immediately from their sizzle video for this thing. I mean, yeah, there's the incredibly compact PCB with the state-of-the-art power delivery that enables a sick dual-fan, dual-slot cooler with pass-through for both of the
Series
fans.
S? I got a Series X.
Both of these fans.
I don't even play it that much, though.
The cart, but this. Wow. Thank you. No more need for fire-prone right-angle adapters to clean up your cable management. An angled power connector. Okay, Linus, it has a nice cable, but what about the specs? Oh, I've got specs.
I'll do that right now.
Put it this way. If you have a 4090 right now, the 5090 is the GPU that she tells you not to worry about. In raw numbers, here's what
again, I have a 1660 Super, and we're talking about 5090s.
I can't wait to see it in action.
How strong do I want it to be?
So why am I waiting?
My upgrade will be like a
relegated to the floor like a common chicken.
A 3060, maybe a 40 series.
Why don't we start there?
But that's because I have like a pre-built computer. If I upgrade in the future, then I would go crazy. Having a 4070 right now, watching this video, must be kind of sad. But you know, you got the best of the best for a while.
You can't let me show you guys much prior to the performance embargo in a couple of weeks.
What earpads?
And only one game, and
bro, my headset looks like a coconut.
I can't think of anything I'd want to change here. Absolutely,
on the video.
Everything is cranked, and to their credit, they did load up frame view, so I won't be purely relying on feel to evaluate the difference. Okay, so let's play on the 4090. Yep. That's a pretty powerful GPU still. And it's even more powerful than you probably realize.
I'm happy with mine for now. I would get a 3060 if I could. That would be the next upgrade.
Including NVIDIA's new Transformer model.
But other than that, I would have to build the whole like custom PC.
So the results we're getting, even on the 4090 here, are not going to be comparable to your system at home. This guy is performing a little better thanks to...
I'm pretty happy with what my computer, what I need it to do. Because 36. Yeah, but well, the 30, it's got to drop in price. Or I'll buy a used card. I don't care about that. If I'm gonna play a game like Starfield, I'll play it on my Series X, and I'll use a capture card to capture the footage to my computer, and I'll stream it that way. That if I got a better graphics card, all I would do is I would play the game on the computer. So I don't really need it. It would be nice. I could live without it. But then, like, if you won't be able to do mods on GTA 6 and stream the mods because you won't be able to mod a Xbox. So that's like that's a downside. Dude, let's just ask Pride. You don't have to tell us exactly, but how much do you think your whole setup would cost? Your computer. And that's exactly what I would not want to do. That's crazy.
To some of these changes.
And then playing Yu-Gi-Oh with 4060 cards. Crazy. Oh man, that's what you have? Oh, you 4070? It's even crazier.
Nice that it's getting the extra help because
yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna spend
close. Even
you're gonna spend a small fortune. You're gonna have to sell a kidney, and yeah.
Without looking at the numbers, which are double, this is wickedly smooth. I still remember, I think it was on a short circuit or something. We were looking at a system from, I want to say Main Gear. It was my first time playing Cyberpunk on the 4090 because I hosted the review and everything, but I never actually got to game on it. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, this is a lot faster. And it's like, where are the polygons?
You got confirmation that that you're gonna get a new job? You did the interview and everything, and you got the confirmation. That is awesome. Hi, congratulations. I think he does mention something about the screen tearing. We'll have to see. I didn't pay full attention to the whole video yet. Working for the public, that's probably a good thing to do because you're always going to be needed. Your job's not going to go anywhere. They're always going to need someone there. Oh, you already did it for 6 months. Oh, so you're in. That's awesome. What is it that you do? You don't have to tell us. But that's great. Oh, subway mechanic. That's freaking awesome, dude. Look at this, man. So I have a YouTube channel where I show all the stuff I did with my project cars. So I know what you're talking about. My grandfather was subway, not subway, but like mechanic for trains. And my uncle, his son, didn't do like the mechanic stuff, but was like in the offices. Hell yeah, cars are cool as fuck. And spending my money on cars is why I don't have a 3060 or 40 whatever.
You know? Where have my polys gone? Sure, the thing is priced at $2,000 US, a 25% increase, and is rated at 575 watts, but for the first time in what feels like forever, at least we're getting more for the money. Like, this feels like a truly Halo tier product. The 512-bit memory bus, 5,000 more CUDA cores, and noticeably better performance. Like, I can't believe
we don't have that over here. So if it should be like amazing that I know that.
Cyberpunk running at 4K with ray tracing.
Yeah, we don't have that over here. So you know that if I know that, you're talking to the right person.
Because it isn't. FrameGen and AI-assisted ray tracing are doing a lot of heavy lifting here. Jensen gave us a bit of insight into this, telling us that out of the about 33 million pixels in his demo, only 2 million of them were calculated, with the rest extrapolated using AI. But
other people aren't interested. I got a Volkswagen Beetle that I put a 6-cylinder engine in. It's pretty sick. Check it out. Check it out. Yeah, I know I love cars. And check out the channel. Check out the link to that video if you want to check it out.
Okay, I mean, it doesn't matter as long as it looks good, right? So
I have
how
videos
good
of me
does it
working on
look?
it, building it.
While I'm supposed to be just showing this off, what I've actually been doing is looking around for a couple of interesting examples of how DLSS 4 doesn't handle everything perfectly. See the way this text kind of jitters and blurs if I move around? It's not as clear as the rest of the frame. See, it's okay if I do it, it's okay if I strafe. And I've noticed some instances of particularly bright or high contrast objects having little ghosts on them. With that said,
Ghosts.
I know what I'm looking for. Other reviewers are gonna know what they're looking for. If I were to put one of my siblings in front of this.
I can't even speak. I have a 1660 Super. Who am I?
And NVIDIA was quick to
I'm
point
nobody.
out that this is both running at lower latency and with fewer artifacts than DLSS 3.5. Enough about the 5090
Doesn't mention the
let's
screen
face it,
tearing.
most people aren't gonna buy. Let's talk about the rest of the family. The RTX 5070 comparison to the 4090 should be taken
if I got
with
the
a grain of
3060,
salt.
I would be chilling.
Obviously, that's going
Especially
to be
for
with DLSS
where I'm
version
coming from.
4. Obviously, that's
I'll
going to
get
be
one
using your
used
new
on a deal.
MFG or
Like, let's see.
multi-frame generation.
Used 3060. This has 4 visual outputs. Graphical, I don't even know what you call them. For 4 displays. That's perfect. That's all you need. That's all I would need. Boom.
At 4x, that feature is limited to 50 series cards and is powered by AI. And obviously, the situation might change depending on the resolution you're running. I mean, 4K needs a fair bit of VRAM. So can a few hundred more CUDA cores net such a wild performance boost? Especially with so much less VRAM? It's a bold claim. But with this mix of next-gen CUDA, Tensor, and RT cores, along with DDR7, it could very well achieve
There's
it,
a lot
at
of new
least in
things. I
some
don't even know what the hell they're talking
and
about.
if it looks
CUDA
anywhere
cores?
near
What the
as good as
fuck is
this
that?
does, while costing less than half of what the 4090 did at launch, well, I certainly wish that it had 16 gigs of RAM, but even without it, they are going to sell a lot of these. Not to me, you might say. I want 16 gigs of VRAM. Well, then you are going to need to take another step up to the 5070 Ti or another step to the RTX 5080.
I got you. I'll link the video as soon as
And
it's over.
about these. If prices had stayed the same, I'd probably be pretty pissed off right now. But the 270 class cards they showed today are $50 less than last gen. And I don't know if that's because of competition, but hey, progress. And it actually gets better. The RTX 5080, with all the other bells and whistles that we've mentioned so far, and sporting an additional
$500? I mean, that's not
1,000
bad.
CUDA cores compared to its predecessor, is set
Unless
at
you want the
just
top of the line one
$999.
for freaking 2,000.
I say just. I know $1,000 is still really expensive, but that is down $200 from the RTX 4080, or about 16%. It's got next-gen everything, 1,000 more CUDA cores, more than double the AI tops, and more memory bandwidth, meaning it should deliver legitimately flagship class performance at that price, even if there does exist an even higher end card for the mega ballers out there. Right alongside their new desktop GPUs, NVIDIA announced 50 series for laptops as well. They start as low as $1299
Yo, I thought it was gonna
with the
crush
RTX
him.
5070, and they are claiming, well, they start as low as
No,
their new
I
desktop
thought it was gonna
GPUs.
crush him.
NVIDIA announced 50 series for laptops as well. They start as low as $1299 with the RTX 5070, and they are claiming 4090 performance using half of the power, and then the lineup goes all the way up to an RTX 5090 at $2899. By the way, if you want to see our quick first initial reactions to MSI's 50 series cards when we were under embargo, and to watch us prank Colton, why don't you check out our behind the scenes video over at lmg.gg/floatplane. But wait,
That all you
there's
got for us,
more.
Linus?
Jensen brought a wafer prop onto the stage to illustrate the incredible technology that's built into their NV72 AI racks. He described it as equal to 20 cars. Not
Wait, that guy's
100%
really
sure
the
if he meant in
Temu
terms of
CEO? No way.
complexity with the 600,000 parts or price. Either way,
I thought it was the
each one draws
NVIDIA.
120,000 watts, contains
Don't tell
130
me he's
trillion
both.
transistors, and has 1.4 exaflops FP4. But do what with it? Well, I'm not sure yet, but it's exciting. And he wasn't done. Another big announcement is Cosmos, a world foundation model that's designed and created to understand the physical world. There are 3 levels of models, and they're all openly licensed and available on GitHub: Nano, Super, and Ultra. They're saying this is kind of the ChatGPT moment for robots to help them interact with the real world, which is super cool.
Wait, a robot can finally make my toast?
And Ultra. They're saying this is kind of the ChatGPT moment for robots to help them interact with the real world, which is
it's making
super cool,
toast. It's making your breakfast.
Also kind of scary, especially when they brought the army of robots onto the stage.
Oh shit.
That was cool. Anyway, the point is, you should be able to give a robot a prompt and then just watch it do the thing in the virtual world so that it can train itself virtually. They did it, the Matrix. But it's the humans bamboozling
robots
the robots.
Are driving? Stop. I don't want that.
Bullet there. Anyway, a big part of the reason for this is that when you're training something like a car, you can just do it in the real world. We're driving around with cameras all the time. We've got lots of data. But when it comes to humanoid robots, it's a lot more challenging because they aren't just running around doing stuff, because if they were, it'd be extremely dangerous.
Dude,
so the idea
really
with Cosmos
scary
is
stuff
to
is
take
happening.
the wear and tear out of the equation, which will hopefully mean that costs can go
the
way
Terminator
down
is coming.
in robotics development on a physical level.
This is
Just
scary.
exactly what this is going to mean in the long term for everyone, including potentially a lot of warehouse workers that aren't going to need to move things around anymore.
They're taking our jobs.
Well, I guess we'll see. But wait, there's even more. NVIDIA has announced, you guessed it, a ton of partnerships around robotics and machine
That's why
vision.
Hai has the right idea. You got to be
in Cosmos and apply
you got to
that
be
to
the person
real
who
world.
works on the
That was
robots.
coupled with their new Thor AV computer, a Blackwell-based robotics processor that also has their Grace ARM CPU cores on it that can handle a ton of visual data at once, like cameras, radar, and LiDAR. They're boasting 20 times the processing power of their previous generation, which is absolutely wild. And last but not least, they included a couple allusions to the multi-trillion-dollar industries that they're going to be addressing with all of this technology. So will NVIDIA's stock price soar even higher thanks to our new robot overlords? Again, I'm not sure, because as NVIDIA carefully noted, all of these are forward-looking statements and can't be taken as pure fact. Finally, last but not least, they surprised everyone, including Nintendo, by announcing
Don't question the robots. The robots know what's best for all of us.